Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another vlog episode. Not too many left in this particular series, thank God. It is Monday, May 18th, and in exactly 1 week from today, we have our next race, an Olympic triathlon. Now, it's the first triathlon of the year. First triathlon I've done since June of last year, so it's been a while. I've been training, and this training block has been killing me. Like, I don't even want to train anymore. Like, I don't even want to ride my bike anymore. But I have just under 4 weeks until the season is over. Okay, so today starts race week. So we're going to give little quick snippets of how the week is going. And I'll probably publish this video Monday of next week or after the race is actually over. But then I'll do a race recap later in the week next week. But we're going to give little bits and pieces. We're not carb loading for this race, at least not a lot. We're probably going to keep it the same as Nashville, a couple 100 grams of carbs for like Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. Or Friday, Saturday, a little bit into Sunday because the race is on Monday. But we're not going to go super heavy, super crazy with this. But that's the plan for this week. So today we have a single workout on the docket, and it's a busy day today. I have, work meetings. I have to get my glasses redone or fixed or replaced, whatever you want to call it. I've got to go to Walgreens and get a new passport photo for my passport because I have to renew that before August so I can travel to other countries for work. And then I have to go to the pool for a swim at some point later today. So we only have one swim. I think it's 2,400 meters. I tried to swim yesterday, but it was after a bike and a run, and I was absolutely exhausted considering the travel week last week. We'll talk about that one later at some point because last week was probably the busiest travel week I've ever had. But yeah, so today, one workout, swim. I'm about to have my coffee, read the Bible for the morning, and then I'm going to start working in about 20 minutes. I don't think I have any meetings until like 9 or so. I might be a little bit later than that, which is cool. Gives me a chance to catch my bearings from the week. But yeah, race week. And it's not a taper week. We're not tapering. Last week was basically a recovery week because I did one run. It was horrible. But yeah, so we're going to go hard this week. Maybe taper off like Saturday or Sunday, and then do the race on Monday. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later when we check in. All right, so I screwed up already. I just got done with the pool. I didn't even record anything at the pool. There's my workout. It was 2,400 meters. Main set was 3 by 700. First 700 was at RPE 5-ish. Then it was 700 with paddles, RPE 4, and then the last one was supposed to be RPE 6 to 7, and 1 and 3 were like different sighting drills as well. So every fourth 25, I had to do, sighting just to kind of practice with that. It wasn't very fun. It wasn't very fast either. So I'm mentally and physically just drained. I'm still not fully recovered from Nashville, which, again, I'll talk about that tomorrow when I have more energy, but that was an absolute destroyer of a week for me. I don't love swimming to begin with. So, going into the pool with anything higher than a 500-meter set, I hate that. And the fact that I had to do 600s yesterday and then 700s today, I just want this whole season to be over. I have so much going on that I haven't even shown you yet, and I'll show you in due time, but like right now it's just, there's so much happening behind the scenes that just getting a workout in is like it's stress relief, and it's like kind of takes the pressure off for a minute, but it's still, there's like everything still waits for you when you're done with the workout. So it's like you don't have the energy to really push through the workout. So it is what it is. I'm going to go home and eat. It's 8 o'clock now, 8:09 to be exact. I'm going to go head home. I got pasta and meatballs waiting for me, and that's it for the night. I'm going to shower and hopefully get some sleep because I'm probably not going to be able to breathe in a couple hours because of the pool. So I'll check in tomorrow morning. All right, it is Tuesday. It's about 5:30 at night. I'm just starting my workout for the day. It is a hour, 15-minute bike ride with 55 minutes at race power. I don't think this is going to be race power, but it says 55 minutes at 255 watts. Maybe it's for the Olympic race power. Damn straight for no 70.3 race power. Anyway, I've got Zwift going there. I've got Star Wars Clone Wars over here. I'm gonna knock this out, and then I'll wrap up for the day. This is a fairly decent week so far. But here we go. So, less than a week till race day. All right, so I'm done with the ride. 55 minutes at race power. For that 55-minute block, my normalized power was 242 watts. My average power was 240 watts. So pretty solid, considering I don't race at 240 watts. Unless they're, like I said, unless they're hoping that's for the Olympic and not the half, because I damn sure ain't holding that for 2.5 hours, not with hills. But we've got less than a week until race day, so maybe we'll probably do like 230, 240, somewhere in there for the race day. I can't imagine going much harder than that. But anyway, that's it for Tuesday. All right, welcome to Wednesday. Just wrapping up a 60-minute mile with the second 30 minutes, or the second 25 minutes of this run block is at 70.3 pace. Here's a breakdown and what I did, and that's it. So I gotta swim tomorrow. I'll see you then. All right, it is Thursday afternoon. I'm gonna come in here. So it's Thursday afternoon. Right now it's 4:57. I gotta take the bike to the bike shop to get my derailleur adjusted, which is fine. I'll drop it off today, pick it up tomorrow before tomorrow's bike ride. And then tonight I have a swim, which it's a 2,500 yard, it's power swim, I don't know, but it's like, I know there's warm-ups, the 500 yards warm-up, like 3 different sets, a 3-1-1, and then a couple 5x100s on like the 220, and then goes into like not like a decelerated pyramid or decline or whatever, but it's like a bunch of yardage with a bunch of drills that way. So either way, I'm going to go to the pool on my way. After I drop the bike off, it's on the way. But that's today's workout. You're going to cut to like a quick clip of me actually swimming to prove that I did it. So in a second, you're going to see me swim. All right, so it is now Friday afternoon, 3:08. I just finished my last meeting of the week. It is done. Friday, I'm now on my own now, but I still don't have a bike. My bike is still at the shop. I have not gotten a call from them about it yet today, so I'm still waiting. If I don't get my bike by a certain time, then I'm not gonna be able to do today's ride. I'll just do today's run at 70.3 effort and just go with that. So I'm going to start tearing things out of my room and start getting my race stuff ready this week. I do need to charge my bike computer, which I have not done in quite some time. I need to, when I get my bike back, charge my power meter to make sure that is ready to go. So once the bike is back, I will be able to hook it up to the power meter. I just got to get my race kit, my race belt, whatever hat, whatever shoes I plan on racing in, ready to go, so that Sunday when I leave to go to Austin, I have everything I need. I don't have to come back home or buy anything special on the way. So yeah, that is that. Waiting for my bike. If I don't hear from them, probably they close at 7, I think. So I have a couple more hours to hear from them. And then I got to drive up and get it if they call. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Hopefully I get the bike back tonight or tomorrow. Not that I'm going to cry if I don't do a 3x20 minute FTP ride today. Tomorrow's ride is important for Happy Valley. It's a 2.5 hour ride in a hilly course. So going to be using full Turning Peaks to set up the Happy Valley course profile. But yeah, for tonight, right now I'm in limbo until I get the bike. It is what it is. So maybe it's an unintentional rest day. Maybe not. I'll keep you updated if I do get the bike back. Just plugged in my Garmin computer and it's dead. So good thing I thought about that. So time to charge. Second interval, 20 minutes at 245 watts. Holding steady. All right, so I just finished the ride. I forget what it was, I did 2x20 at FTP or at 245. And the other thing I had to do today that I said I had to do, charge the Garmin, charge the power meter. So this is charging. So now when I get to race day, it'll actually have power to it so that I can read it on my Garmin. And I know how fast I'm going. So that's Friday. Tomorrow's the last day I'm going to record for this episode. I have a 2.5 hour ride and then a 38 minute 4 mile run, basically at 70.3 effort. So probably closer to like 8:45 to 8:50 pace. So I'm gonna go shower, change, and then get some rest and get ready for tomorrow. So see you tomorrow for the last clip in this this episode. Okay, so change of plans. I was all ready to go ride. I had my nutrition on the bike ready to go. Everything was good, and then I got a phone call from my daughter who's about 2 hours away. She got into a car accident, so I have to put the ride on hold. Probably not going to get it done because we are celebrating Gigi's birthday, which was this week. That's why she was coming down. It's raining, it's shit, but I got to go play dad, and unfortunately this is some of the give and take of being an athlete and a parent at the same time. So guys, never put your family on hold. Always drop what you're doing for your family. I'm going to go make sure my daughter's okay. I know she's 2 hours away. It's going to take me 2 hours to get there in the rain, maybe longer. But you know what? If she's pulled off on the side of the road or at a gas station or something, just sitting there waiting for me, when I get there, she'll be fine. So I'm going to go be dad, put the ride on hold. Probably not going to get it done today, and that's perfectly fine. We have a race in 2 days. I'll be fine. Anyway, I'll check in later if something does change. Race is over. I got no footage on race day because I'm solo these days. But finisher's shirt. Got the medal. It's actually a pretty nice medal. Dual-sided. Nice little etching of the Austin Capitol in the background. We finally had a solid race. And I say we, because at this point, you guys are along for the journey. If you're watching every single one of these videos, you're along with the journey. You're probably doing some of the tracking online. Maybe you follow me on Instagram where I post the tracking stuff, the links and such. But we had a good race. Now, it could have been better a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I won't say it was the perfect race, but we had a good race. So real quick, I got to the expo, did my thing, just little quick, get my number, get my shirt, get my packet, with the stickers, because I had to put stickers on my bike for the first time this year. It was only 2 stickers. It wasn't like Iron Man. I had to put the yellow one. You can see it right there. That's on the seat post. And then I had to put one, my number for the bike, and then I had to put one on my helmet for that. I almost forgot how to set up a transition. Thankfully, I didn't. Had my towel with all my stuff laid out. Had to triple check, make sure I got everything. So Sunday, I picked everything up, put the stickers, dropped my bike off. Didn't have to drop any other gear off. Went back, had dinner, hung out with Mackenzie and her boyfriend Ryan at their place. Monday morning, I woke up at like 4:30. Got ready, had 2 bagels with turkey, cream cheese on them for breakfast. I also had 3 scoops of G1M Sport and a scoop of Flight. So it was like, so G1M is 60 grams of carbs plus 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Flight was 300 milligrams of caffeine. I did have a scoop of creatine in there. And then I kind of just went about my day. I left a little after 5 to get down to the race, got to transition, probably like 20 minutes, like 15, 20 minutes after it opened up. I parked, whatever, walked to transition, got everything set up. My bike, I had a towel, put my bike shoes with my bike nutrition, put that all set up, my helmet, where I need to go. The bike computer was fully charged, bike was fully charged. My run stuff, made sure my shoes were untied, my socks were ready to go. So all I could do is sit and boom, put them on one at a time and get ready to go. My hat with my race belt. I read somewhere that you needed to have your race belt on. I think it was in the packet. You need to have your race belt on during the bike, on the back of your, had your number facing the back during the bike, and then rotate to the front for the run. Fine, no big deal. One less thing I got to worry about in T2. Lined up for the swim. I think it was like my wave went off at like 7:36 or so. Got in line. I was towards the back of my wave. Just, I don't like being in the front. I really don't. Got in the water. Water was, so Lake Monster, which lied. If you're trusting Lake Monster for your water temperatures, stop. Lake Monster said Lady Bird Lake in Austin was 80 degrees. So I didn't bring a wetsuit. I got to transition and they announced the water temperature for the race and it was 74. Could have had a wetsuit on. Would have made my swim a little bit better. But it is what it is. Would have been a little bit better. Fine. Yeah, it would have been maybe a couple minutes, like 2 minutes faster. Either way, was what it was. I jumped into water. Water was absolutely gorgeous for 74 degrees. It did not feel like 74 degrees. Swim started off, Lady Bird Lake's pretty shallow. There's a lot of seaweed in there, but I mean, it was, I won't say it was clear, right? But you could like see the bottom, but it's because it was shallow. First turn was fine. I was kind of creating separation, and then my goggles fogged up about halfway. I had to grab on a lifeboat to unclog my goggles. Finished out the swim. I think that slowed me down a little bit. Not just the rest, but just like the second half, I tended to not go as hard. But got out of the swim. I think it was 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Which again, it could have been faster. I wish it was, but at this point, I'm not even really worried about it. So yeah, swim was 35:58. So then I went to transition. I jogged through transition, which is rare for me because normally I don't jog through transition. Normally I kind of take my time through transition. Hold on, let me find me. Normally I take my time to transition, but because I'm normally gassed from the swim, I did not do that. Jogged up the ramp, up through transition. I was out of transition on the bike in 3:45, which not as fast as it could have been, but it looks to be closer to on average for most of the people. Got on the bike, and the first little bit of the bike, is getting onto the main roads. And at the first lap, it's just all Olympic distance athletes, which is fine. You got to go up Congress, which is slight incline, so you weren't really going that fast. You go over the bridge, the little hump up and over the bridge, and go up Congress, and then you turn around, come down, and it's fairly flat for most of the rest of the way. This one was an interesting because it wasn't an Ironman brand, so it appeared the rules were a little different. Drafting was not frowned upon. Passing on the left, like there was traffic going through the whole road. Like I was literally swerving left, right, past people. There was one point where there was 4 people wide on the road, and I'm just sitting behind. I'm parked behind some dude. We're both doing like 20 22, 23 miles an hour. Just I'm on his wheel until we figured out where to go. Didn't seem like penalties were a thing at this point for the age groupers on lap one. Lap one, I didn't push the pace too much. Just getting my legs back on the bike on the road. First time I've ridden on the road since Happy Valley last year. But it was really just kind of getting, okay, where's the course go? Like, where's the turns? Where's the good spots on the road? Lay of the land. Here's the hill. Okay, cool, done. Let's fly. You come back and you got to do 4 different laps. So lap 2, you start pushing it, and you're still Olympic athletes, maybe a sprint athlete or 2. By lap 3, you got Olympic and sprint athletes. By lap 4, you got Olympic, sprint, and super sprint athletes. And a lot of the sprint and super sprint athletes you can tell they were rookies. The way they were riding, the way they were just kind of like hanging on the left. They weren't really whatever. So you're like dodge, duck, dip, diving, and dodging all these athletes, but you're going super fast. So either way, the bike was good. I was trying to get, I think, a 21 point something mile an hour. I think that was my target, was 21 miles an hour. I ended up doing 20.8, which wasn't bad. I did the bike in officially 1 hour, 9 minute, 32 seconds. Got off the bike into T2, again, because the shoes laces were untied and everything. I didn't have to, I just spun the belt, put my shoes on, grabbed my hat with my nutrition, and kind of fiddled with that on the way while I was already moving. Added transition T2 in 2:53, which is, again, a little bit slower than I wanted, but it wasn't like the slowest. And then came the 10K. This is kind of where I was nervous. I had a plan for the 10K. The first 3 miles, I was going to go like around 9:20 pace. And then the second 3 miles, I was going to try to pick it up a bit. It got hot on this course. I want to say at some point I was driving home, it was like 90, 91 plus on temperature. I'm looking at my training peaks now, and you can see the temperature 86. I mean, it's upper 80s at this point, for the last little bit of the run. First lap was 9:13 or 9:14, we'll say. First mile was 9:22. Third mile was 9:08, which this is where I'm like, okay, cool, let's try to pick it up a bit. Fourth mile, 1 and 4 were kind of uphill a little bit. So mile 4 was a 9:10. I did not pick it up, but it was faster than the first mile on the first lap. Mile 5 was 9:22, same as the second lap. And then I had to take two quick walk breaks, one to get nutrition and one to get a little bit of water on the last mile. So I started going, I picked it up. I knew I only had to go up and down, the down and back on the bridge. And then, so I did that. I picked it up running. I didn't really kill myself. And then I made the final turn onto the grass to do like the 200 yards to the finish. And my hamstring started to cramp. And I got maybe less than 75 yards and my left hamstring just locked up. So I had to kind of walk a little bit. I did jog across the finish line, but oh man, that was painful. Seeing the finish line, I just like, my legs, I couldn't move my left leg. But the last mile was 10:13. So it slowed me down a little bit. Those 2 walk breaks kind of slowed me down before that. But again, overall time was, my target, before I go to overall time, my target for this race was sub 3. Now, this race was kind of cheating. I said in the last video, I'm guaranteed at least 1 PR. This was the PR because I've never done an Olympic race before, Olympic distance triathlon. So I was aiming for sub 3 hours. And, again, I didn't know what to expect with this. So this was kind of like where we were. My overall time was 2 hours, 48 minutes, 38 seconds. So I beat my own personal goal, my target, by 12 or 11 and a half minutes. I'm not mad about that. Like, I felt like I had a really, really solid race. It was hot, but the heat didn't really kill me. I kept my nutrition. Everything was good. I had a great bike. I felt really good and comfortable on the bike. The swim, like I said, the swim could have been about 2 minutes faster, so it could have been like 33, but that would have only put me at, what, 246 at best. So I'm not mad about this one at all. Like I said, I'm proudly rocking the finisher shirt. There's stuff on the back too. I'm not going to turn around though. But yeah, I've got the medal. I'm happy about it. It was a great day. Like I said, super hot though. And then I came home and I felt fine afterwards. Like I was tired obviously, but I wasn't like physically destroyed like I would be after Gulf Coast 70.3 or something like that, where it just takes everything out of me. So we have one PR so far in this series. So we are 1-2 on PR attempts, or 1-2 with, after 3 PR attempts. And I've got one more race to go. Less than 3 weeks from today, this series will be over. We have 70.3 Pennsylvania at Happy Valley. So we're going back to Penn State in a couple weeks. That race, I'm super excited for it just because A, I know the course, and B, this race from Monday was it was positive. It was positive momentum. It was optimism, right? That bike, it really felt good to really kind of push that and just feel good. Now, can I hold up the speed of 21 to 22 miles an hour or the 240 watts over, the first 20 miles at Happy Valley? We'll see. Because so the way Happy Valley's set up is your first 20 miles or so, or 15 miles is basically flat or, not really super hilly. From 15 to 27 is where like you're in a gradual uphill, and then you hit the hills, and you can't expect to hold your power numbers on the backside of Happy Valley, but you're not gonna like stop. It's just a lot harder to hold those sustained numbers. But if I can hit, I looked at last year's race, I hit 20 miles at 107 or an hour 7, which means I was like probably 3 miles. I was at 3 miles off pace, so I was almost a lot slower than I wanted to be. If I can hit 20 in under an hour, I will feel so much better about that race going, to finish it. And then the run, I don't have to do sub 9s. I don't have to do low 9s. Just got to do sub 10s for the run. If I can do 940s for most of that run, we'll be good. So I'll talk, and then I'll do one more video before Happy Valley. I'll do a video next week for Happy Valley. Then I'll do the race day Happy Valley. So next week I will have my prediction for Happy Valley. Remember, my 70.3 PR is 639. And I'm going for much lower than 639 at next race. And then it's over. So we're hoping to end the series at 2-2. We're hoping. Right now we're here. And so we'll see. But anyway, we've got 2 more videos left of this series, and then we're going to switch it up to something completely different. I'm excited. Let me know how excited you are. Let me know your prediction for me at Happy Valley now, next video, whatever. Let's see how close we can get. Last year, I think I did 649, something like that. But I took my time on the run. I took my time on the back half of the bike. So we're not going to do it this time. This time, whether I'm on target or not, on pace or not, we're just going to keep on going for it because I think we can. So, all right. It is Tuesday, the 26th, and I have a pool workout. So I will see you all in the next video, and thank you for your support, as always.